Some people think America's best days are over.
What is the American dream nowadays?
We have to have jobs.
I know some people's about lost their homes.
Some of them just give up.
Well, we believe in America, and we know the best is yet to come.
I have not lost faith in this country at all.
Coming up, we'll reveal what's happened to some of America's factories.
I could have ripped my heart out. It was just so sad to see. It's just, and I guess it's never coming back.
We were at a crossroads. Are we going to go to China, or are we going to stay made in the U.S.?
It's time for all of us Americans to join together and turn this country around.
It's really about doing the job right.
I get so excited about Made in America.
We got to roll up our sleeves and we got to go to work.
Today. Today in America, someone is raising Old Glory one more time. Someone is walking down the aisle. Someone is walking across the stage. Someone is celebrating a new arrival. Someone is closing on their new home. Someone is marking one more year together. And someone is returning home with honor. It's another day in the land of liberty. I believe we live in the greatest country on earth, where every day is a new day to pursue and to live the American dream. I should know because I live it every day. I'm living proof this is the land of opportunity, where hard work and perseverance can make any dream come true. Hi, I'm Jim McAville, and I believe in America with all my heart. Gallery Furniture started with myself, my wife, a pickup truck, $5,000 and a leap of faith, and a dream. A dream to build one of the best furniture stores in the world, and today Gallery Furniture is one of the top retailers of furniture anywhere on the planet. I was born in Mississippi in 1951. When I was 4 or 5 years old, my family moved to Texas, and I grew up and went to school in Dallas. In 1981, I married my wonderful wife, Linda, and convinced her to move to Houston with me and seek fame and fortune in the furniture business. The first 8 or 10 years, all we concentrated on was making payroll every week. It was fairly hard. We worked about 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, but we did what we had to do because we believed in our customers, we believed in our great employees, we believed in achieving this thing called the American dream.
He really believes in his core in these things, and there's nothing superficial about it. He's on a mission, he stays with it, he's a guy of integrity, and when he says something, he means it and he does it.
Our story is this: you can do anything you want to do if you want to do it bad enough. We came to Houston with no money, no contacts, and not much hope, but we had a great big unfair advantage, and that unfair advantage was called desire. I believe you can do anything you want to do in this great country if you want to do it bad enough. So we built the business one customer at a time. It was not unusual at all for us to sell out of furniture on Saturday night at 10 o'clock in Houston, get a U-Haul, drive to Dallas, meet my friend at his store at 2 o'clock in the morning, buy furniture, bring it back and sell it on Sunday. That's the type of hours we work, but I don't regret one bit of it. We've had a great time along the way. We've helped a lot of customers, and we're making jobs for Americans, creating great products for Americans. We believe in the United States. Most of all, we believe in the American dream.
I saw all the jobs that left America and went to China, and all of these things that were happening in the whole furniture business as I knew it changed. And really Mac came along and decided to make this stand for American-made furniture. And it really, when he started this, I mean, it was when there wasn't a lot of furniture made in America that he could really do that with. And he stuck with it until we found companies that are making quality furniture in America that has style and substance and we can all be proud of having it in our house because we're saving jobs in America.
So Gallery Furniture was made in America, and we're proud of it. And at Gallery Furniture, we're committed to products and services made in America too. And today, Gallery Furniture proudly employs over 400 great workers, great people right here in the United States. But today's economy, as you know, the American dream is quite often becoming harder and harder to reach.
Well, what is the American dream nowadays?
Everybody can't work at McDonald's. We have to have jobs where people can make money and have their own homes and not live on welfare.
I know some people's about lost their homes. People's lost, their vehicles and stuff because of losing their jobs.
Some of them just give up.
Right now, I'm working with some high schools, and I'm asking the students, do you believe in the American dream? And it's a surprising number that don't. Guys, we got to turn this attitude around. And we got to roll up our sleeves, and we got to go to work.
In many industries, the American worker is an endangered species. We think that is wrong. According to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics in 2014, over 100 million working-age Americans are unemployed. Imagine that, 100 million working-age Americans are out of work. We want to change that. What would America be like if 50 million of those 100 millions could find jobs and look forward to getting up and going to work every day and find a job they love? Can you imagine how much better we would all feel and how much greater the country would be? In the furniture industry in particular, we've seen great products and American jobs exported overseas as cheaper, lower quality foreign imports have replaced them. That breaks my heart. And along with lost jobs, many of those imports have brought new environmental concerns for our landfills here at home as well. Furniture manufacturers in the United States have lost more than 1/3 of all jobs since 2000, according to AFL-CIO statistics. In North Carolina alone, there were more than 90,000 workers in the furniture making industry in 1988. By 2012, that number had fallen to just 35,000. In the 1980s, furniture factories were everywhere in the furniture belt of the Tar Heel State. By 2000, more than 47 furniture factories had closed their doors, with more to follow. Here is the story of one furniture factory. Steve Hides lives in Lexington, North Carolina. He used to proudly work for the plant that was the cornerstone of the town since 1901, the Dixie Furniture Company.
The one thing I think I miss most about the furniture industry going overseas is the fact that you don't hear the factory whistles blowing anymore. You used to always hear them at 7:30 for people to come to work. You'd hear them again at noon to go home for lunch, and then again at 4:30 or 5, whatever hour that the factories got off. You just don't hear that anymore. And what's particularly galling is with Dixie Furniture down here, it's just like a gaping hole in the middle of the town. It was the largest employer in Lexington here for many years, and it was started by local people and employed generations of people who always thought they'd have a job here.
This was the furniture capital of the United States at that time. And of course, that all changed when globalization came.
Dixie Furniture once employed over 1,000 workers in 15 buildings, encompassing 9 city blocks and over 31 acres. It was the heartbeat of the entire town. Today, all that was Dixie Furniture is only a sad memory.
They had a sign over the door there that said, "Through these doors walk the smartest furniture retailers in the world." Now it's just deserted, unfortunately. There's grass growing through the through the carpet in there, and now, just as you can see, there's nothing. Oh, the American flag used to fly at the top of that flagpole, and very proudly. Every market, and this was used not only as a showroom, by the way, but it was also the corporate office, which was in the back. But every market, Dixie would have people, buyers would pull up right here in front, and somebody would go and park their car, and they would take them through these doors here and escort them in to the showroom. And God, we sold so much furniture out of this place. I mean, it was it's really sad to see it. It's just, I don't know, when I went through that building a couple summers ago, it was like I could have ripped my heart out. It was just so sad to see. It's just, and I guess it's never coming back.
So when you look at some of those communities today, they don't appear like they were 25 years ago. They are a shadow of what they were. They haven't recovered. The people haven't recovered.
We never thought Webb Furniture would have shut down. I mean, nobody would ever even dreamed it could happen, you know, but it did.
Well, it was devastating, because when they come and tell you we're going to close, you're like, now what am I going to do? What's going to happen to my job?
Telling somebody that they don't have a job and they've done nothing wrong is not fun.
We were at a crossroads. Are we going to go to China, or are we going to stay made in the U.S.?
This was a living. This was your occupation. It wasn't just a job. You didn't do it for the money. You did it for the love of what you were doing. And, you know, that's just lost now. I mean, I can't articulate it any better than that.
And awful things happen when people stop caring. The decay of the American factory falls right in line with the decay of American values. We can fix both by caring and starting to do something about it. If not now, when? If not me, who? If not together, how?
It's important to America. It's important to all of us.
Let's not underestimate America. We depend on each other.
We were born in America, we're made in America, and we're going to stay in America.
Nestled along the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, the little factory that can and could and does. More than 700 American employees strong, the Von Bassett factory in Galax, Virginia is keeping the American spirit alive and well and competitive in the furniture business across the world, churning out the American dream on a proverbial conveyor belt, hour by hour, day by day, one nightstand, one chest, one bed at a time.
It is a lot of hard work, and you know, it's dusty and you know, sometimes dirty work, but the fact that it's American-made furniture, I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, everybody was happy and everybody get along, so that's the main thing.
We really care about what we do here.
As fast as we run, I'll put our quality against anybody's.
Beating the odds and defying the critics, Von Bassett remains a model of American ingenuity and capitalism. This is the work of the factory man, one of my heroes, CEO John D. Bassett III.
I grew up in Bassett, Virginia. My grandfather was one of the founders of the Bassett Industries in 1902. So I grew up in a furniture family. That's all we talked about. I mean, that is truly sawdust in my veins. And I learned to love this business, but I also learned to love the people. I want to be competitive. American people don't want a handout, they don't want a bailout. but they do want a fair chance.
In her New York Times bestseller, Factory Man, author Beth Macy shined a spotlight on John B. 3's frontline fight to save American jobs.
When I first heard about John Bassett III and how he'd taken on the People's Republic of China from tiny Galax, I thought, this is a character worth exploring.
I have not lost faith in this country at all.
John has pride in what he does, and he wants to have our company to succeed.
John, he bleeds sawdust. I mean, he has sawdust in his veins.
And if it wasn't for his vision and him being here at this plant, there's no doubt in my mind that this plant right here would not exist today.
You know, before I wrote this book, I was as guilty as the next person about not really thinking about the consumer choices I made, whether I was buying clothes or furniture. But now that I know the people who work in these factories, I know it's really important to think before we spend our dollar.
I grew up with furniture workers. We lived in the same community they lived in. We saw them at church, our wives saw them in grocery stores, we played golf with them. I mean, we grew up with these people, went to school with these people. We felt a obligation before we closed our factories to do everything to protect their jobs.
Yes, ma'am. I have one thing to say. I am a retired industrial engineer in apparel and upholstered furniture manufacturing. I have been through 4 factory closings, 2 other major layoffs, and I want to thank you, Mr. Bassett, for fighting this fight. And I want to thank you, Beth, for writing about this.
In South Carolina, Holly Parker knows firsthand the value of saving American furniture factory jobs.
I was made in America by a factory man. Starting this letter is difficult. I have so much to say, and I want to be sure that I can convey my gratitude both completely and accurately. So I'll just start with the obvious. Mr. John D. Bassett III, thank you. Thank you for the example. One day in high school, an angry teacher pointed out the window to the line of factories on the creek and shouted at us, "You do not want to end up down there." I slunk in my seat, knowing that down there was all that my family had to depend upon, and bewildered because I had no complaints. It was then that I knew something was down there that she didn't see. She didn't know about the family time, the bonds being built, or the real honest living that our Von Bassett families were enjoying. I've never forgotten that moment, and I used her attitude to remind myself of when I'm being too prideful. I wanted to be more like you and my Von Bassett family than I did her and that attitude. I thank you for the years of earnest care for your employees because it taught me that hard work and contentious business can go hand in hand. And through all of the short time, we never went without because you wouldn't let us. Thank you for staying in America, and thank you for staying in Galax. Thank you for the sleepless nights you spent making telephone calls to keep my parents working, and for caring if you had work for them to do. I remember many times when it got truly difficult, we always knew that lesser employers would have, and did, give up. You never did. Thank you for employing my parents for almost 50 years. Because of your dedication, we never had to rely on social welfare programs and never went without health insurance. But most of all, I want you to know the joy your endeavor has given to just one child who was raised by parents whose clothes usually smelled of sawdust and finishing spray, proudly. I had a wonderful childhood. I'm a better wife, mother, and American because of it. And you played a part. Mr. John D. Bassett III, I'm proud of you.
Got a roof over my head and a car to drive and people that love me, so yeah, I'm living the American dream.
It's always been that way, and I hope it'll always continue to be that way.
All of these great Americans have jobs, good jobs, because you care and we care, because we want to bring you the finest quality and the best value in home furniture for your home.
When you purchase American-made product, you help preserve and create jobs in this country. We've got a wonderful group of people in this community and in this area. They're hardworking, they're eager to learn, they love what they do. We've got brothers and sisters and fathers and daughters and all sorts of relatives here. These people come here with great attitudes, with a lot of enthusiasm. They take a lot of pride in what they do. Made in America to me is very important for a number of reasons. But nothing more so than the livelihood, the satisfaction, and the security of the people who work here. These people are folks I grew up with, neighbors and friends and high school classmates. I've known them my whole life. They take a tremendous amount of pride in what they do. They have families to feed. They've got mortgages to pay. They're sending kids to college. They're planning for their retirement. And it would break my heart to see the fact that the United States has really abandoned manufacturing and chosen to import manufactured goods as opposed to building them here. It would break my heart to see that destroy their livelihood and their futures.
I think, it's real important to have jobs in this area. We've seen a huge decline over the years as far as jobs, as far as manufacturing. We need to, just generally start building stuff here in America again. Seems like everything's a service industry, and we need to bring manufacturing back.
American-made furniture, there's a little more pride taken in the product. Someone has gone a little bit further to make sure that that product is going to last a lot longer. I've seen a lot of doing reupholstery work myself. I've seen a lot of imported product that is in shambles and pretty much like a throwaway product versus something that is made by the hands of craftsmen and it's lasting for generation to generation.
I support American made, I buy American made. Just kind of supporting your fellow American that way.
I think the quality, the people that build this want a quality, they don't want to produce a product that they wouldn't have in their own home.
When you purchase American-made product, you help preserve and create jobs in this country. That's who you're supporting. It allows them to put their kids through college. It allows them to own a home. It allows them to pay taxes. It allows them to be consumers of things that you might make or that other people might make. It really drives our economy. And it's important that we support American manufacturing. It's also wonderful product. Nobody in the world can compete with what we do here. And hopefully, more and more folks understand that all the time.
Another long-standing tradition in American craftsmanship is the fine handiwork performed by the Amish across America.
The Amish place a big emphasis on family, on church, and on their occupation, whatever it may be. And they tend to, by choice, not have any of the modern conveniences you and I might enjoy. You go to a typical Amish house, there's no electricity, no cell phones. Their mode of transportation is a horse and buggy.
I love the simplicity and the clean lines. It was made probably the same way it was made 100 years ago. And I like that. I like knowing that there's a tradition behind that and there's a story involved with the piece. and that you're going to get a good product.
If you look over a 20, 30-year period, you're only going to buy it once. It'll last you a lifetime.
You can't see it, but the value is that you can buy, if you buy American made, it is you're supporting your own country and you're supporting your families.
Not only are Made in America products the highest quality, but they're also green products and environmentally friendly.
No one wants disposable furniture. I have never heard anyone say, I want to go in and buy this and throw it away in a year and a half, ever.
Being made in America is certainly about helping save a job, but it's more than that. It's really about doing the job right.
For every tree that we cut down to make our furniture, we plant 4 in its place.
Today in the Appalachian forest, there are more hardwood trees than there were 30, 60, 100 years ago. And we've also in that area been able to maintain biodiversity.
We try to be as environmentally friendly as possible. Try to leave a small carbon footprint.
Our integrity is actually hidden under here. And I want that integrity to be able to come out and prove to people that our product's going to last.
The United States has always led the way, and this is no time to fall behind the world.
It is first up to us to make a product that is competitive in the world.
We have to get back to that. We have to get back to the pride of building something again, of making something again for someone else, not for ourselves.
America's coming around. For a little while, they just weren't paying attention, and we let it slip out of our hands. But the last couple of years, especially, I think we've seen it start coming back. They're calling it reshoring.
It is a team effort, guys. We can't blame any one person. We're only gonna get here if we do it together.
I can't explain because I get so excited about Made in America. I think that is so great.
That's the kind of American spirit we need.
The average American will spend $700 on gifts this year. If only half that amount were spent on gifts made in the United States, up to 1 million jobs would be created. Your choice matters.
I choose to buy American because I know the quality is going to be there. I know that it's handled by someone who cares about their job and loves to give back to the community.
Why would you settle for second best by getting something imported? You know, why not support these people? Why not keep us in business?
We live in the greatest country in the world. And so it's not only the people, it's the products we produce. It's what we stand for in our democracy.
Let's keep America working. Buy Made in America today.